Oh, wait, hold on. You got muted too. Hold on. You are muted, Cheri. You ready?
Okay. Can you guys all mute yourselves so she doesn't have to do it?
I can do it. It's okay.
You can do it but me? Okay.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Okay. And are we recording?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what's your team's name? I forgot to ask that.
Team Ignite.
Team Ignite. So we have some Team Ignite coaches joining us too. So we'll go ahead and get right into the meat of this webinar. I'm so excited. For those of you, we have so many new coaches on our team that, let me introduce myself. I'm Cheri Beasley. I've been a coach for 2.5 years. I'm 3-star diamond, and I love this business. It is my children, my husband, my business. It's my third baby. And I'm really excited because I met Kimberly a while back, but I got to hang out with her in Cancun for the trip, and she's the invite queen. I think she could get an Eskimo to buy some cubes of ice. I mean, she's just freaking awesome. So without further ado, we're going to take it away with you, Kimberly. And if you guys have questions, just type them at the bottom, and she can see them and get to them as she can. And if you're not muted and you just got on, please mute yourselves. All right, Kimberly, thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, Kimberly, she's been a coach for almost a little over 2 years. Team Ignite is her team's name, and she's a 1-star diamond, and again, she's the invite queen. So, now, sorry.
No, you're good. And if you see questions that I miss while I'm talking and you want to interrupt me, feel free. I have no problem with that.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
I wrote some little notes. Thanks for having me, guys. I wrote some little notes just about all the basics of inviting here on my screen. And if anyone who's done the invite training with me in summer, it's a little review of that, but you know, everything is always different when it's kind of live and coming out of your mouth. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just going to try to keep it simple and basic, and that's my first tip. Is that's what you should be doing with inviting, is keeping it simple and basic. I think people try to overthink this whole thing and make it more complicated, and it gets in your head and gets you stressed out, when really this is a vital behavior, but it's no different than personal development, being a product of the product. Those are simple things. Those are things you're in control of, and so is inviting. So first step to inviting is to make your list. You have to have a list of people. You know, I have these, everyone has like different ways that they want to make their list. These are the lists that I use, and it says go for no. I'll talk a little more about that. It has 20 spaces, but I usually either take notes or turn it into 60 spaces, and then I have people that I add to my list for the next month or whatever. I have tons of these lists, tons and tons and tons of them, because most people from this list are going to say no, and then I'm going to add them to this list, and then I'm going to say no, and then I'm going to start a new list and add them to that list. So we'll talk more about that. But you have to have a list. If you don't, if you're going by what's in your head, if you're going by who's on your messenger, you're just setting yourself up for failure. If you don't have people written down of who you want to talk to, if you're a new coach, I actually recommend doing just a brain dump and start writing down names of like 100 people. And you all know 100 people. Danny Johnson says by the time you're 21, you probably know 2,000 people. That doesn't mean you're all Facebook friends, but you probably do know 2,000 people. And that comes down to the person who does your hair and delivers your mail, and your mom's best friend, and the person you went to grade school with, and all these people that even if you're not friends with them on Facebook yet, you can be. You can probably find them and be friends with them on Facebook at some point. I think when I started this business almost 2 years ago, I probably had maybe 500 to 600 friends on Facebook, which I thought was ridiculous. I was the person that made fun of people that had 500 to 600 friends. I was like, you're not friends with 500 people. Like, that's ridiculous. And now I have like 2,000 friends, so I'm really that obnoxious person. But it's people that I'm trying to connect with and build a relationship with. But that all starts with having a list and adding them to your list. And if you want to just get on Facebook, if you have 500, 600 friends, 100 friends, whatever it is, open up Facebook and just start writing names down. I get on Facebook when I have to generate a new list, and I go to friends, search friends, I type in A, all the A's come up. The people in the beginning of the list are going to be the people that you talk to the most often. So if I typed in C, Cheri would probably come up first. I'm obviously not going to invite her. Colleen would come up first. I'm not going to invite her. I scroll down after 10, 15 people. It's people that I am not in everyday conversation with, and I start writing down names. There's usually couple A's, couple B's, couple C's, couple D's. I get halfway through the alphabet, I have a whole new list of people to invite. So there's always people to add to your list. You have to have a list to get started. When you have your invite list, you have to invite them. Now you have to invite them. It's the very first step of inviting after your list. You have to invite them. It has to be short and simple. You don't need to have a long paragraph. Again, we have hundreds of scripts for these things. I know Cheri has them. I know I have them. I know they're in Team Courage. I know Jessica Rodriguez has them. Like, you guys, they are out there and available for the taking. Copy, paste, repeat. Copy, paste, personalize, repeat. Personalize it with a person's name. Personalize it with your name. Personalize it with a special touch about something you've been following about that person. You saw that their child had a birthday. You saw that it was their birthday. You saw that they just went on vacation. You saw that they did XYZ for July 4th. Whatever it is, they just had family photos. Make it personal to them, but the invite is very simple and short. And sometimes it's out of the blue invite. That's one of my examples where I've been doing this for a couple years, so I know that's different than when you're first starting. But some of mine are people that I'm not talking to all the time, and I will start the invite by saying, hey girl, I know this is out of the blue, but I'm running a challenge group after 4th of July for people that are ready to like jumpstart it, get back on track. They feel like they're kind of feeling sluggish. First month of the summer's in, we've been having parties and barbecues and this and that, and it's time to make a change. Is this something you'd be interested in joining me in? Done. That's it. Like, that's as wordy as I'll ever get. Brand new coach, I want people to know what I'm doing. Like, hey girl, I just want to let you know, I just joined Beachbody as a coach mainly because I have been a challenger for a few months. I've seen amazing results. I've lost XYZ pounds. I've lost XYZ inches. My energy's up. My cholesterol's down. And I want to help other people do the same. Does this sound like something you'd be interested in joining me in? These are all the things we have lots of scripts for. And if you need help with that, I know that myself and Cheri and tons of other coaches above you are there to help you with that. But the point is, you just made this list of 100 people. Let's say for the month of July, perfect timing because it's tomorrow, that you have a list of 30 to 60 people ready to go. If you don't, highly recommend you get off this call and jot down 30 to 60 names because those are the people you're going to start inviting. The way that I invite is on this list. So I write out my list of 30 to 60 names each month, and I start inviting on the 1st. And I try to invite everyone on that list in a couple days. That's how I do it. I'm not saying that that's how you have to do it. Some people are good and comfortable with inviting 2 a day. So if you invite 2 a day, you're going to invite 60 in the next 30 days. Some people are comfortable with a work day during the week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day is good for you that you want to sit down and invite 10 a week, let's say. Every Monday you sit down and invite 10. So you're going to at least get 40 invites in usually, sometimes 50. Whatever works for you. For me, I like to knock it out the 1st of the month. I like those conversations to be open and available all month for me to check in with, for me to follow up with, for me to know that they're out there. And I've had months where I invite 20 to 30 the 1st of the month, and I'm not seeing the Success Club points I want or challengers that I want on board for like a mid-month challenge. And so I invite another 30 more. And sometimes that turns into a lot of Success Club points because the people I was thinking aren't going to enroll do enroll, and then the new invites enroll, and it builds up. And that's why, since I do that every month, I have 10 Success Club points, 20, 30, whatever it is, every single month because I've done this system for 2 years, and it's just a matter of continuing it. So we'll talk more about consistency. But so number 1, we got to make our list. We got to invite, short, simple, to the point. We've got to get those 30 to 60 invites out every month, whether it's the beginning of the month or however your system is going to be for you. I just want you to find something that works for you and to do it. Okay, number 2, responses. Now that you have all those invites out, we're going to have responses coming in. So we're going to have people saying, what is this all about? What does the challenge group entail? How much does it cost? What do I have to do? Or they even, sometimes the responses like start with the objections. They're like, I don't have time for this, or I don't really like to exercise, or this, I mean, whatever it is, you're going to have responses. So what do you do with all these responses? We've got like major ice maker noise back here. Sorry, the whole crew just walked in. So, okay, so a lot of things I wrote down under responses. Find people's needs, find out their goals, relate to them, tell stories, ask questions, add value. So let me go through those a little more in depth. Finding people's needs and goals and relating to them. With responses, I got to find out what's going on with them right away, especially even if you do maybe have a sense of where they're coming from, or you have a relationship with them. Obviously, every conversation is going to be different, but right away if they're responding to you, that's a good thing, because it's not crickets, right? It's not someone not responding to you, which is something that happens a lot, but there's an open conversation there. Like, someone probably actually needs your help. They probably actually want the conversation to go further. So find out what their needs are. Does this person want to lose weight? Do they have health issues? Do they more concerned can they not fit into their clothes? Do they have high cholesterol at their last doctor's visit? Are they suffering from diabetes? Do they have fibromyalgia? Like, what are their needs and how can we fill them? Because the more information that you know about our programs and know about Shakeology, the longer you do this, I guarantee you we can fill them. There's not anyone out there that doesn't have something that we cannot help with, because it all starts with diet and exercise, guys. And that just comes into the belief factor of what we do. And the more you learn about the powerful stories and success stories that Beachbody has as a company, and what Shakeology can do for your health, and what daily exercise can do for your mental health and physical health, when you know all those things and you're able to portray them, like, we can help anyone. And you guys have to share your own story. Like, responses is really about your stories. It's about relating to people and telling stories. So if your story, you've already told them, or you don't think it relates to them, find out someone else's story. So my story, 2.5 years ago, I was overweight. A girlfriend from college high school reached out for me after seeing me post on like a New Year's resolution, like January 1st, saying like, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to move more and eat less, like something like super funny and cute and whatever, just what everyone else writes on January 1st. But she took the step to reach out to me and be like, hey, I saw what you wrote about your New Year's resolution, and I wanted to show you what I've been doing the last 90 days. And I just finished Brazilian butt lift, and she showed me her results picture. She just put it all out there and showed me. And since I had known this girl and I knew what her before picture looked like in my head, I was like, holy moly, 90 days she did that? Holy moly. And 90 days after I signed up, after she asked me 3 times, I'm going to let you know, because she had to follow up a few times. I didn't just say yes, because in my head I was like, $140, I can do that. I just got to get moving. I just got to start walking. I just got to start eating right. I got to start eating less carbs. Like, I knew what I had to do. But a couple months went by and I didn't do it. And she kept following up with me, and eventually I signed up. But then I had my own story after 90 days, and I had my own success pictures. And it doesn't matter, like, whether you lost 10 pounds or 100 pounds, or you're still on your journey, because I still am on my journey. I share my ups and downs. That doesn't matter. What matters is you're here on this call because you saw a change in yourself, or you're seeing a change in yourself, or you want to continue the change in yourself, and you want to inspire other people to do that. You need to share those stories, guys. Share my story, share Sherry's story, share Jessica's story, share your team's story with other people, because something you say is going to connect with them, and they need it to be real. People need to know that it's simple, that they can do it, and it's going to work. Like, that's what they need to know. It's very basic things, and you need to add enough value to them, so that all comes out in the responses. This is not a one response they're going to buy. This is start a genuine conversation with someone on your list and get to know their needs and start to fill them. Okay, so that's a big part of it, obviously. Next is a big part too, is objections. So we've done the invite, we've had some responses. Some of them start with objections, but then there's always objections. There's very rarely someone that I invite and they say, absolutely, I've been waiting by my computer for you to invite me, Kimberly. I cannot believe you are just inviting me right now. I was hoping to pay $160. I can't believe it's $140. Like, this is it. Sign me up. Never happened. 2 years, promise. I will tell you when it does. It doesn't happen. They have objections, and all objections are is people, especially the price objection, is that you're just not adding or showing them enough value in what we do. They think they're just getting some containers and some powder and some instructions in the mail in their little cute box. Like, that's all they think they're getting. That's not what they're getting. That's like bonus to what they're getting. They are getting you as a coach. They are getting you and a support group of other coaches. They are getting a challenge group with other people that are going through the same thing they are. They are getting people that can relate to them. They are getting meal plans. They are getting tips. They are getting checklists. I mean, sometimes I just feel like we give these people actually too much in our team. Like, and I know you guys are, I know you little Emerald Cheri give them all sorts of checklists over there. So we provide so much. It's more than what comes in that box. That's just a bonus. That's just a catalyst to help them. What they really need is that push and that energy and that reason. And that's what we're going to do. So objections are, they need that value added to make sure that it's something they want to do. The thing that I tell my team a lot, and if you've done the invite, I'm sure some of you have heard me say this before, so I hate to feel like a broken record, but it's true, is objections are just a speed bump. They are a total speed bump in the process. And what I tell my team is if you are driving along with your kids, you're going to the mall, you're headed to Macy's over there, and all of a sudden there's a speed bump, you need to slow down. Does anyone get to the speed bump and stop the car, like put it in park and be like, sorry kids, like, we're going to have to walk to Macy's from here. I think we should actually just stay in the car. It's way safer than getting out of the car. There is a major bump in the road. Like, we're done. We're not going anywhere. Let's just camp out here for the night. Like, I hope not. Like, that's not what people do when they come to a speed bump. They slow down. They go over the speed bump. Sometimes they go over the speed bump too fast, and that's a mistake. It can cause problems, but you have to slow down and go over the speed bump, and then you keep going. This is exactly what an objection is, guys. It is a speed bump in the process, and I guarantee you it's coming. It's coming. It's part of the process. It's part of the mall parking lot. It's part of the invite training. Like, that's it. It's part of it. It's coming. People have objections. They have the money objection. They have the time objection. They have the, I don't know, what other objections do you guys hear? Like, you're welcome to tell me. Hold on. Someone's giving me a little feedback. Oh, where did everyone go? Oh, there they are. Okay. So it's just part of the process is objections. I've tried protein. Okay, here's a good one. I've tried protein shakes before objection. Okay, that's a great one too. So these are just part of the process. It's slow down and let's address the objection. I feel like some people try to speed right over it, like, oh, well, you haven't tried this protein shake. Let's just try this. Like, that's not overcoming the objection. Okay, what protein shake did you try before? Let's have a conversation. Like, let's discuss it, right? Let's go back and forth. Let's not be in a rush, guys. We're not in a rush. What did you have? Why didn't you like it? Why didn't it work? Let's find out the reasons why so we can tell them why Shakeology is different. Because right off the bat, I can tell them, well, Shakeology does have protein, but it's not just a protein shake. Like, did your protein shake help with metabolism? Did your protein shake help with energy? Did your protein shake help with all the vitamins and minerals you need for a day? Did your protein shake have one superfood in it? Did your protein shake have any probiotics in it? Like, I can go on and on like that, but I want to know, what is their issue with the protein shake they've had before? Cost objection. The number one reason I cover cost objection and most objections is the feel, felt, found method. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found is, okay, so I can use that on anything. And you guys, this is all from the heart. This is all a conversation. I know this is like how you talk to people in sales, but I have news for everyone on the call. We are in sales. Shh, we are selling something. Okay, I'm glad that's all out. Okay, so I know how you feel. I felt the same way. This is what I found. I know how you feel. Like when Tiffany invited me to do Brazilian butt lift and she told me it was $140, I was like, inside I was like, I can probably do it by myself. Like, I don't really want to spend that. Like, I'll be sweet to her and be like, yeah, I'll look at it. Like, I'm going, on vacation, and maybe after that and this and that. But what I found was 2 months passed. I did not lose any weight by myself because I was not held accountable. I did not make any changes. I did not have a meal plan. I did not have any help or support. So things actually got worse. They did not get better. And what I found was also with the cost is when I traded Shakeology for all the crap that I used to eat, I think I actually spent less. 2 years later, I know I spent less, but right away I was like, wow, I'm not really spending any more. Like I don't use the $4 or $5 a day technique. Some people do. If that works for you, go for it. I usually use $35 a week. I found that I was spending $35 a week on crap. Like I was spending it on pizza and eating out takeout food. I was spending it specifically on wine. I was spending it on like what do you need? Other stuff like that. Like $35 a week I was spending on stuff that I didn't need to, like takeout food and this and that, and now I'm replacing it with a healthy meal that will actually get me to my goals. So I'll use that approach a lot, but it's always how I feel, how they feel, justify how they feel. I know how you feel, empathize with them. This is how I felt, and this is what I found after I really dug in. So I use that on most objections, and this is the thing with objections. So I don't expect them to come right back and say, okay, sign me up. Like, again, like that's never where I'm at. It's like we're just starting to get over the speed bump. We're going to have to get over it a little bit more. There might even be another speed bump right in front of us. There's usually not one speed bump in a parking lot. So we might have another thing coming to us. But that's the key to this list, guys. Like, I'm going for no. Go ahead. Tell me no, Susie Q. Like, go ahead. Tell me no, because then I'm going to ask you next month. Like, this is July's list. Like, I got August, I got September, I got October, still going to be here in November, still going to ask you in December. And if you still haven't done it, January is right around the corner, New Year's resolutions, you're still on my list. Like, you're still on my list. So go ahead and tell me no. It's okay. We're still going to have a conversation. I'm still going to try to have a relationship with you and see where it goes. So objections. So number 4, trying to speed it along because I know I talk a lot, is follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up, absolutely. And this is so key to your business. If you invite, you have responses, and you overcome objections, good for you. If you never follow up, you're not going to have a business. You're not going to go anywhere in this business because you are going to get so frustrated with yourself that you're going to quit. Absolutely going to quit because you're going to feel like every month you have to have 30 to 60 new names. No, you don't. Everyone that said no on this list for you, say you invited 60 people, and let's say 55 said no. Guess what? 5 said yes, and you have Success Club 10. Congratulations, because you invited 60 people. Legitimately invited 60 people, addressed the responses, didn't rush through, had conversations with them, addressed objections, added value to them on their Facebook page throughout the month, followed up with them just to see how they were doing and checking in, and you had 5 say yes. Guess what? You have 55 that said no. So next month list, we're going to put those 55 people on this list. You are going to have a few people that are like, just found out they're pregnant, or someone passed away, or someone's having surgery. They might not need to go on this list. You need to make a note of that. You need to say like, I should probably follow up within a couple months. But sometimes I still add them to my list and I make a note and I just say, she just found out she's pregnant. You know, it's her first baby. Like, Shakeology is probably not the first thing she wants to talk about, right? She's having surgery on her hip in 2 months. Like, probably don't need to get her doing max 30, you know, tomorrow. Like, these are notes that I'm going to make. But in general, I'll have 50 people to move over to this list. I need to find 10 new people. I go to Facebook, go through just the alphabet game, like it's no special magic trick, and I'm like, oh, I should invite her, I should invite her. And really throughout the month, I'm adding to the bottom of my list, like as I'm talking to people or people are commenting on my Facebook post, I'm constantly adding people to talk to. So I usually have those 10 people to add to. So that's my new invite list. And that's where the follow-up comes in. We're now re-inviting for the next month. Meanwhile, all those people you invited last month, like if you invite the first of the month like I do, you do have all month to follow up with them just in a general conversation, not like, do you want to do my challenge group? How about now? Do you want to do it today? How about now? Are you ready? Like, that's not what I'm following up with. I'm just staying active with them on Facebook. You can create interest groups on Facebook where you put them all in one group. Like, this is my July invite list, and you're constantly following up with them. I can explain more how to do that. Or you can, just go to their page and check in on them. The more you're checking in on them, the more they're going to constantly come up in your news feed anyway. So that's all the follow-up. But the fortune is totally in the follow-up. If you do not add them to the list and invite them again, then they're never going to say yes. I was just looking at my son's shirt today. It was like from a 5K, and it had all these sponsors on the back of it. And it's a big race. And I thought, that would be a great race to sponsor, like as Coach K or whatever. Like, that would be a great opportunity. And then I remembered in my head that someone asked me a couple months ago to sponsor their kids' baseball team. And I totally responded. I said, send me the paperwork. I'd love to do it. Like, they had asked me for the bottom level. And I was like, oh, I can donate more than $25. Like, what are the levels? What does it get me? Just let me know. Just follow up. That shirt triggered that, and I was like, they never followed up, and I never donated, which I felt a little bad, but I forgot. I totally forgot. Like, I forgot. There are so many people on your list, guys, that forget, or they're embarrassed, or they think they can do it on their own for a month. They just need someone to follow up. Follow up is not being annoying. It's showing someone you actually care. It's showing someone that you actually want them to do this. And a big point I wanted to make about the sales thing, I know I said a joke about it earlier because we are in sales. I'm sorry, but we're all in sales. I don't care what job you're doing, you're in sales. So the big thing about it, like some of us are on the Maxwell calls this year, and I loved what he said about sales this past call. And he said, sales is nothing more than sharing something that you've had a positive experience with that you know can impact someone else's life. That's what selling is. I am sharing Beachbody and Shakeology because it's had a positive impact on my life, and I want to share it with someone else so it can impact their lives. If you want to share it so you can get $30 commission, that makes sales icky, and that's what gives sales a bad name. If you want to share it because you actually think that this is someone that would be good for the coach opportunity, or this could help someone lower their cholesterol, or this could help someone take the pain away from their fibromyalgia, or you think this could help someone lose anywhere from 10 to 100 pounds and be more comfortable and more confident in their skin, then you're no longer really selling. You're just sharing something that you're passionate about. And when you start to do that, it takes away a lot of the fear involved. And fear is a big topic in all of inviting. I get that, and that can be a call in itself, is all about fear. I understand that. But when you bring fear into it, it's your ego, and people misunderstand what ego is. They think it's, you being pompous and conceited. Ego is a lot of different things, and fear is one of them, because what it does is it makes it about you and not about the other person. And this isn't about you. This is about the other person. So this is about helping other people achieve their goals. And all of these inviting tactics can be used to invite to the coaching opportunity. And that's also about helping other people achieve their goals. Like, do they need a community like this that can support them? Do they need extra accountability in their own fitness journey? Do they need to make additional finances? Like, sometimes it's not just about making extra money for coaching. For me, that is not why I signed up. That is, the discount was nice, but immediately I realized that I needed this community. I needed this group of people to be around. Like, I enjoy travel. I enjoy doing fun things, and like, to be a part of that with other people like you guys, like, that's why I enjoy this job. Like, that's the bonus for me personally. So all of these can turn over into inviting to the coaching opportunity if you make it about other people and not yourself. So let me see if there's any questions before we have a few more minutes. And Cheri, if you want to ask anything or say anything. Okay, how do you approach those who don't answer you at all? I tend to follow up 2 times, but if you still don't hear back, do you keep them on your list for next month? Okay, this is a great question. A lot of times you're going to get crickets, and a lot of times it's that time where, like, I just forgot. Someone just emailed 2 times this week. I don't know if this guy happens to you guys. Like, I'm in a message with someone, and I guess they respond and I never see it, or maybe I scroll over it, but then it's marked as unread and I never see it, and then they write again and I look up and I'm like, oh, I never saw your above message. Like, I feel bad about that. But like, and then it's annoying to me because I'm like, well, who else has responded that I missed? So sometimes that's natural, just for people to forget. And I see that over and over in my own team when they're posting their like responses. I ask people to do that sometimes just so I can see what's going on. And they'll say like, oh, I'm totally sorry, I forgot to respond. Like, I just forgot, or I got busy, or I was in the car when you messaged me and I read it, but I never respond. So definitely follow up. If you're following up a couple times and don't hear back, like, I wouldn't stop contacting them, but I would probably stop leading with anything Beachbody related. Like, I would see what's going on in their life on Facebook, if they're posting on Facebook, and bring up something else. Like, hey, I saw y'all just went on vacation, or you were talking about going to Disney, or I saw you just got family photos, or like whatever's going on in their life. I would try to bring that up and see if it was something that they would respond to. If they still don't respond, I'd actually go as far to put myself out there and say, hey girl, I just want to make sure I didn't make anything awkward by inviting you. Like, it might have been out of the blue and it wasn't meant to be weird or offensive. Like, I certainly don't care or mind if you're not interested in a challenge. I don't want it to be awkward between us. I think that just cuts the ice and is like, I'm not trying to be awkward. I don't want you to run away from me at the grocery store or think that you have to buy Shakeology for me. And it makes you vulnerable. Like, it makes you like, hey, I just want to make sure that I didn't like step on any toes. And if they're still not going to respond, like, after all of that, like, something's inside of them. Like, you can never take it personally. That's just like their own insecurity, or they're feeling insecure. They're feeling uncomfortable, and they're not ready. So that person would probably be on my heart at that point. And next month I probably would just reach out and be like, hey, I just want to say hi, girl. I just want to see how you're doing. Like, I don't want it to be uncomfortable or awkward, but that's going to happen. Like, I get that. That happens. That's completely normal. You don't want to
Kimberly, we only have a minute left, and it's going to cut you off.
I know.
So I just want to thank you, and I want to say we redid our training for our new coaches.
Okay.
And are about 15 days of our 21-day training, because your inviting is amazing. And my first coach to go through it is Shalana. She's on here, and she's enrolled in SC6 after 2.5 weeks.
Oh my gosh, that's
works.
so exciting.
It works. So we want to thank you so much for doing this. And if you wouldn't mind sending me the recording so I can share it with my team members that couldn't make it, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. I really appreciate you having me. And if you have questions, please don't blow up my inbox. But you're welcome to write me. You
Or
can write
they
me.
can ask you
I
in
love you.
2
I
weeks
love
of
you.
summit.
You can write me. And honestly, I don't do calls for every team. So I really, Cheri did a call for my team, and like she said, we did connect in Cancun, and I appreciate her inviting me. And I hear a lot of great things about you. So anyone that's going to be at Summit, I'm excited to meet you guys.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Kimberly, and thank you, everybody, for calling in. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.